from today's witnesses. Mr. Combetta, do you intend to make an opening statement?
On advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer and assert my Fifth Amendment privilege.
Mr. Thornton, do you intend to make an opening statement?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer and assert my Fifth Amendment constitutional privilege.
Mr. Cooper, do you intend to make an opening statement?
I have no opening statement.
Okay. Please, if you all can move the microphone a little tighter, a little closer, it's just hard to hear. Mr. Combetta, we've sent a subpoena to you for your supposed, we had read that there was an immunity agreement. Mr. Combetta, did you produce your immunity agreement this morning as required under the subpoena?
On advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer and assert my Fifth Amendment privilege.
Mr. Combetta, a couple of questions. Senator Johnson last year released a portion of an August 19th, 2015 internal communication between two Platte River Networks employees. Here's how it read. Quote, wondering how we can sneak an email in now after the fact, asking them, meaning them we read to be the Clinton Executive Services Corporation, when they told us to cut the backups and have them confirm it for our records, starting to think this whole thing is really covering up some shady, and there's an expletive there. I just think if we have it in writing that they told us to cut the backups, then we can go public with our statement saying we've had the backup since day one. Then we were told to trim to 30 days. It would make us look a whole lot better. As I understand it, you were one of the two employees assigned to PRN in the Clinton account. Did you send or receive this email?
On advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer and assert my Fifth Amendment privilege.
Mr. Combetta, 2 days after that last email, you wrote on August 21st, 2015 to an employee of a third-party backup firm called Datto. This is what it said, quote, we are trying to tighten down every possible security angle on this customer. It occurs to us that anyone at PRN with access to the data partner portal, i.e. everyone here, could potentially access this device via remote web feature. Can we set up either two-factor authentication or move this device to a separate partner account or some other method to allow only who we permit on our end to access this device via the internet, end quote. If I understand the email correctly, every single employee at PRN could have accessed some of the most highly classified national security information that has ever been breached at the State Department. Can you prove that no other individuals accessed this data or even passed it on to someone else?
On advice of counsel, I respectfully refuse to answer and assert my Fifth Amendment privilege.
Well, one last one here. Mr. Combetta, you're an IT guy who's paid by the Clintons. Generally, IT guys don't erase their clients' emails unless they're told to do so. So who told you to delete the emails?
On advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer and assert my Fifth Amendment privilege.
Mr. Cummings, do you have any questions?
Yeah. Do you all plan to continue to assert your, Mr. Combetta, Ms. Thornton, do you plan to continue to assert your Fifth Amendment rights? Is that your plan? Is that your plan?
On advice of counsel, I respectfully refuse to answer and assert my Fifth Amendment privilege.
And you, Ms. Thornton?
On advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer and assert my Fifth Amendment.
I'm not going to have any other questions since it's clear that you're taking the fifth on it. But, and I can understand why you're doing what you're doing. We've had a case here before where answering a question or two, we then ended up in all kinds of litigation as to whether or not you had waived your Fifth Amendment privileges, and so I have nothing further. And I do know that DC Ethics, since DC Ethics opinion that addresses the abuse of witnesses trying to take their Fifth Amendment privileges, and as a lawyer, I'm not going to be a part of that process.
Mr. Combetta, given that you have indicated that you do not intend to answer any questions out of respect for your constitutional rights, we will now excuse you from the table. Okay? Mr. Thornton. Yesterday, Chairman Lamar Smith of the House Science, Space, and Technology Committee released an August 13th, 2015 letter from Datto to PRN's attorney, which said this, and I quote, "We have been following the news reports concerning various investigations related to Secretary Clinton's emails, including Platte River's provision of IT-related services to her. We have some concerns relative to data security. Platte has not enabled encryption at the local device. Given the sensitive, high-profile nature of the data which is alleged in press reports to potentially reside on the Datto device, it may be the target of a cyber attack from a multitude of highly sophisticated and capable entities or individuals. We believe such an event could place the unencrypted data itself at risk, as well as expose both Datto and Platte River systems to collateral damage. In its current state," and it goes on, "the device and the data that is stored thereon," and it goes on, is more vulnerable to cyber attack than Datto believes is prudent under the circumstances. Mr. Thornton, given the vulnerabilities identified by Datto, are you aware of any hacks of PRN's systems?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer and assert my Fifth Amendment constitutional privilege.
I'd like to just ask you one other question that I can't imagine has any implications on any criminal culpability or anything else to the, just a simple question, yes or no, and if you'll answer this one, we'll cut you loose here. Were you interviewed by the FBI?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer and assert my Fifth Amendment constitutional privilege.
You can't answer the question about whether or not you were interviewed by the FBI?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline.
Mr. Cummings.
Again, as a member of the bar for 40 years, I'm not going to participate in this. I just think that when we bring witnesses here and we berate them, when we could do it in executive session or whatever, I think it would be unethical for me to do that. So I have nothing.
Given that the witness has indicated he does not intend to answer any questions out of respect for his constitutional rights, we will now excuse Mr. Thornton from the table. We will recess for 2 minutes while the clerk is able to reset the table.